I'm Ronan Fenton. I'm a consultant anaesthetist at Broomfield Hospital. I've been working there since 1999. But also, I'm the medical director for what's called the Integrated Care System, and that's the system that looks after health and care and tries to optimize it for people in Mid and South Essex. So, 1.2 million people in Mid and South Essex, and my job is to try and make sure that the people of Mid and South Essex get the best possible out of all the health and care resources that are available for us. So the Find Your Active campaign really excites me because, for over 30 years as a clinician, I have become aware as I prepare people for theatre and surgery, because that's what I do in a clinical setting, that one of the key things that influences their ability to get through an operation, for example, is how fit they are. So I spend a lot of time actually in hospitals trying to help patients to get fitter, physically fitter for operations, and I've been amazed at the difference it makes to them. But when I also in my current role talk to people like public health consultants, really people who are looking at the entire community and what's best for them, it's clear to us all that it's not just good for operations being fit. It's good and will make you and I live longer and our health and care system last longer if we are all engaged in a little bit more activity, if we just become a little bit more active in our daily lives. And the Find Your Active campaign is one of the first things I've seen that kind of really tries to relate to normal people like you and I, not fitness fanatics, not people who are running marathons, but tries to help you and I say, find something in ordinary everyday life, whether it's climbing a stairs instead of taking an elevator, that will make you a little bit more active today than you were yesterday. And I know, and I really believe that it could make a massive difference to individuals in our area, and also by extension to our health and care system. Oh gosh, yes. I think I wrote recently that when I was a kid, we had to learn off all sorts of Latin phrases for one reason or another. I thought it was bananas, but one was, mens sana in corpore sano, which means a healthy mind in a healthy body. I thought it was bananas back then, but actually, it's totally true. And it's been scientifically proven that actually being more active improves your mental wellness as well. And after the year or two that we've all had with the COVID situation and people having to stay indoors and stuff, we need to do everything we can to help our sort of mental fitness, because certainly in clinical medicine we're seeing some major issues across our society in terms of mental well-being, and activity will certainly help with that. That's the great thing about this campaign, Find Your Active. I understand that actually. It's really difficult to actually carve out special time to do something. Now, if you can, it's great. And I would, advise people to do so if they can. I'd also challenge that we all can if we really try, but it is hard in a busy life. What Find Your Active is all about is trying to weave into your normal working day things that will make you more active today than yesterday, things that will give you more pleasure than not doing them. So, for example, if you take public transport to work, get off one bus stop before your destination and walk the last bit. If you park in a multi-story car park on the top floor and walk up and down to your car. If you work in a building that has, escalators or lifts, take the stairs. I would say I understand how difficult it is to do this, it would seem, but actually there are things, if you think about it, that you could weave in to what you do every day that just gets you a bit more active today than you were yesterday. Now, ultimately, you know what we're all trying to do is to do 30 minutes of exercise, 5 times a week, and that's 150 minutes of well, exercise or activity, and that's hard to reach. But you can start by weaving things into your normal day, and then if you do find that you have time to actually dedicate to it, you can do that as well. So I understand the problem, but I do think it's less of an issue than we think it is. And remember, we're not saying run a marathon. We're saying be a bit more active today than you were yesterday. And ideally, do something that just is part of your normal routine that adds activity. And it's even better if it's something that you like. So if you're going for a walk with a friend and you fix the world while you're doing it, that's even better. Yes, it was interesting what we learned last year during the COVID times, and we were speaking earlier on about mental health and the impact on individuals of stress and difficult times. And we did an awful lot of things to help provide services for people in that respect. But the one thing that makes the biggest difference in everybody's life and is transferable out of hospitals to your ordinary is just being kind to each other, giving people a bit of a break, helping people out. Simple acts of kindness can build relationships that maybe weren't there before, and it's nicer to live in that sort of environment. But it is true that if you help your next door neighbor with the shopping, that might be one less trip that they've got to make on an icy footpath that could potentially lead them into a fall that could put them in the hospital, and so on and so forth. There is a bit in our society that is of huge value if we just take a breath every now and then, and instead of finding the criticism, find the kindness, and it can really, really be better for others. But actually, in terms of mental health and well-being yourself, it's good for yourself as well. It's nice to be kind.